If you don't know, put a zero in the chat.
If you can hear me, I'm sorry, I'm driving, so I can't type in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. Do you know your most type? Do you know your archetype?
I would think maybe my voice, if that would be one.
Voice? Okay, so all right, so I want us to get familiar with these. You might not know it. And if you don't know it, say, I don't know it. So that way you can discover it. But you might start to get the understanding of where you're at. So, okay, keep that in mind, Tonda, your voice, right? Keep that in mind. All right, so as we continue to go, the attributes of a most attractive character, and you all can let me know if this resonates with you, right? Clarity of vision and communication. So they can communicate with clarity. They have clarity of vision. They can see things very well and describe it. They can pretty much tell a story, paint a picture. Public speaking, presence. When they walk into the room, you automatically feel it, right? You can feel it. Then they have organization, people with time management skills who are always on time and diligent with what they have. Don't miss, don't leave out or don't misinterpret the integrity part, decision making, the relationships, the connector, the influence, the charisma, the demeanor. Those are all attributes. So when you hear those attributes, out of all of those attributes, I want you to put your rank. So 12, that's how we'll do it. 1 to 12. Out of all of those attributes from 1 to 12, how many of them do you have? And don't say you just have them all just because you want to say you have them all. Like really look at your true skill set that people come to you for and they talk to you about. Like when Tonda said voice, she's gonna put down public speaking or presence, right? Because people come to her for that. As it's a real thing. So I need you all to how to identify first and foremost, identify your most attractive character attributes.
Can you run those back by us again?
Right. So what as I'm going by them, just kind of, say in your mind, okay, that's one. Okay, that's two. Just kind of, count in your mind. So the most attractive character attributes, clarity of vision and communication, public speaking and presence, organization, time management, integrity, decision making, relationships, influence, charisma, demeanor. Is someone paying you for those attributes? If someone is outright paying you for those attributes, that's an attractive character attribute that you have. If someone is not outright paying you, they may just not know about that skill set of yours. But if someone is already outright paying you for that, chances are that's your attractive character type. Now you can build upon that. You can have all of these. So there's different types of attractive characters. Now, different strengths create different types of attractive characters. So the reason why I was asking you all to write out where do you fall in that spectrum, right? Like, is it 6 out of 12? Is it 10 out of 12? Is it 12 out of 12? Because the different types of strengths create the different types of attractive characters. Now, when you think about it, there's about five of them, right? Visionary, operator, connector, entertainer, mentor. So if you're like the visionary person, then you're going to have that, what we would call that clarity of vision, that communication. If you're that entertainer, you're going to have that public speaking, that presence. If you're the connector, you're going to have the relationship, the influence. If you're the operator, you have that time management organization, you get it done, you get the job done, you execute. So these are the things I want you to think about. So I want you to identify how many of those attributes do you have? Because you can start to look at these as infinity stones. You ever seen that movie? And Thanos goes and gets the infinity stones. This is basically your infinity stone. You become the most powerful person when you have the most attractive character because literally your opportunities are coming from how attractive you are. There's no doubt about it. You can look at it in any other way, but the most simplest way is to look at a woman in her earliest 20s. Women don't like to admit this stuff, but it's just a reality. As a woman, you're going to be at your height of your beauty when you're more youthful. This is why women wear makeup today and they're a little bit older. And this is also why if you're young and you wear a lot of makeup, you can age yourself fast. So just be aware of these things, right? And I love to use our everyday examples to connect to these because it's just showing you how simple and how plain it is and it's right in your face, right? So identify your most attractive character attributes. Identify that. And if you can't identify it just yet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a guided meditation and we're going to be able to see for ourselves. Sounds good? Let me know if it sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, good. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen on this. If y'all need to write that down, write it down. So the 5 types of most attractive character archetypes: visionary, operator, connector, entertainer, mentor. Somewhere, some way, you're one of those. Now, if you understand which one you are, the better and faster you can execute on your plans and visions and bring your goals to life. A lot of times we are struggling because we're out of alignment with who we are. Instead of understanding, I'm just the operator, man. We're getting in front of the camera, looking to be the entertainer, and it's making us feel out of out of alignment. So then we don't grow our social media that way. How many of y'all resonate? Put a one in the chat. Like you know that just not you. That's it's just not you. And you say it all the time. Hey, it's not me. Well, you can develop that, or you can put your emphasis in the things that would be more beneficial to you. And then you could just bring on friends or strategic partners who already have those other archetypes. So being cautious of your archetype is very important because what happens is it makes you magnetic, valuable, and positioned. So right now you could be positioned where opportunities flow to you based upon the work that you do. Maybe you have a certain resume and it kind of makes you valuable. Then you can move to the next corporate position and you can get hired and make more money, right? So you have these skills now, but if you put them all together and you have these skills, systems, you know how to create wealth, you have authentic influence and presence, you become so magnetic that people want to work with you. People will pay you tens and thousands of dollars right here, right now. If that's what you want, tell me that's you in the chat. Say that's me in the chat. That's what you want. So coming up, we're gonna go through the core of confidence. We're gonna do some leadership work where you own your Mac, you own your identity. So basically helping you discover that identity. We'll go through an accountability scoreboard. Everyone needs that. Basically, that's your system. And then before we leave today, everyone needs to create their winning play. So the play right now that will move the needle the most, you need to get that done. It shouldn't be hard. It should be easy after you discover your most attractive character traits. Cool? All right. So first thing we want to do is we want to break into the guided meditation. And this will only be about 5 to 10 minutes or so, just to kind of get our minds present, cool, relaxed. Some of you might be driving. We get it. We understand. If you can, what I would ask and suggest is take a moment to breathe in deeply until your lungs are at capacity. Breathe. If you can and you are stationary, I would love for you to close your eyes. If you can't close your eyes, just think about it. Imagine everything in your space disappears one by one into this space of nothingness. This is your quantum world. This is where everything is created. Imagine everything has disappeared one by one until you're in this white space of nothingness. When you're in this space, you are whole, you are complete, you are grounded, you are amazing. You are abundant. Breathe. As you are in this white space, you look off into the distance, you notice those double doors. You know those doors so well. As you go through the double doors, before you even grab the handle, the door automatically opens. On the other side is that dream life that you desire, that dream space. Breathe. Imagine you are floating in the air and your higher self is floating next to you, smiling, seeing you, telling you, hey, I would love to show you something. You say, yes, show me. The higher self takes you down, flies you around. You're seeing the ocean, seeing the water, seeing the land, the beach, skylines, everything that you could possibly think, people walking, people enjoying themselves, the animals, and it's feeling like a dream. It's magical. You see all of this, then your higher self asks you, what is missing? Answer, what is missing? You see everything, but what is missing? You, you're missing. You at your most attractive, your highest level, your MVP life. Yes, that's you. What would it look like? What would it feel like? Breathe. Oh, man. Imagine you live on the island that you get to choose, just like your clothes. Hey, I want to live on this island. Choose it. Choose it now. Choose your house. Pick it out like your favorite pair of shoes. Which one? Choose it. Breathe. What an amazing experience. It's your choice. Choose. You get to create the life you want, the people that's in it. That's in your story. You get to choose, create them. Who's all enjoying this moment with, who's all enjoying this island where you get to grow your food? You get to swim in the cleanest of waters. There's no worry, there's no fear. It's just you standing here as your most attractive character. As you navigate through the crowd, pay attention to how you speak to people. Pay attention to how they see you. When they see you, their eyes light up. Wow, wow. Pay attention to how you walk, the way you articulate, your time management. Think about how you feel, your body, how in shape you are. See yourself at your highest state. As you walk through the crowd of people, what name do they call you? How do they treat you? How do they show up to you? When you go over to the food section, which food are you choosing? You have a choice to choose the unhealthy, you have the choice to choose the healthy. You can have a mix of both. You can have one or the other. Choice is yours. It's always been yours. Breathe. Imagine you don't just own real estate. You own cities. This is your city. You're living in your city on your island. The real test is, can you imagine that it's yours? Can you truly see it? Can you feel it? If you can't, the problem isn't the money or the people, it's the imagination. Everything is created in the mind first. If you have limitations in your mind, you have limitations in your life. It's not coincidence. It's just confirmation. Imagine all the people that's at your place now, and you're speaking in front of them. You're giving them a speech. Everyone's gathered around with smiling faces, grinning from ear to ear, waiting on your word, leaning on word in every syllable you speak. What is that message to your people? You feel that? Feel that energy? You're somebody amazing. You're somebody special. There's people crying. There's people loving. There's people feeling amazed. There's people clapping. They're cheering. They're screaming your name. After you finish, they're applauding. Everyone's screaming. They're applauding. Wow, you are making this monumental. You're making this a movement. And suddenly, everyone fades away, and there's one person standing there in the crowd. Spotlight is on them. It's dark, but they're very lit, extremely lit. And that person is you, face to face with who you are right now, your current self. A tear falls from that individual's eye. They fade away. It's just you on that stage of your space, and everyone else is gone. It's your choice to see that ending the way you want to. Was that tear a tear of joy, tear of sorrow and heartbreak, tear for happiness and amazement? Once again, it's your choice. You get to choose. Breathe. As you are looking around for your higher self and you don't seem to see him, that's because you are now them. Breathe. As you're sitting in that space, you're thinking about all the things that you will accomplish, you have accomplished, and you notice something. You are already successful. It's just another level to get to. And you feel good about it because you know you're getting to that next level. It's happening here and it's happening now. Feel it. Can't fake it. It's real. Breathe. As you're in this scene, everything starts to fade back to this white space of nothingness. And you're in this quantum world, surrounded by whiteness, feeling free. Breathe. It feels like a weight has been lifted off of you because it has. Everything else starts to fade back into your reality. The room you were in, the space you were in, people around you, the people not around you, the device you're on, chair you're in, ground you're on, in my voice. I encourage you and I invite you and I welcome you back to the call. If you can, open your eyes, open your eyes. Was that helpful for anyone? I know some of you haven't gone through that one before, so that could have been your first time experiencing that one. But you let me know. Let me know. Raise your virtual hand if you want to share really fast. Raise your virtual hand. Come up and share exactly what you felt. Anthony, raise your virtual hand so we know that we can bring you up. Go ahead, Anthony. Let's bring Anthony up.
What's up, everybody? Man, it was a great experience. Like I really got into that white space, and when you said that I saw my old self in the crowd, it was like confirmation of like, you're not where you're at yet, but you're on that journey. Like you're still not the person that you were before 2 years ago. So if I still do the things I need to do, the steps I need to accomplish, and I don't quit, I'm eventually gonna get to where I need to be.
Hmm. So what could be the steps that you need to accomplish?
Focus on that one thing.
Okay. I like that. Do you know the one thing? Have you recognized the one thing?
Yes. Stop. Well, with your help, to stop looking here, looking there. Right now I'm focusing on getting passing a licensing test and selling our house to do what we gotta do.
Okay. I like that. All right. Send some love in the chat for Anthony if you haven't already. Send some love in the chat for Anthony. Great job, Anthony. So I see we have Alan. Let's bring up Alan. And I love that you're participating more, Alan. I really do, because you're for sure going to have more breakthroughs. But tell us your thoughts. Tell us what you experienced.
I enjoyed that. It was relaxing for me because most of my life, all of my life, the last 38 years, I've been just work, 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 work in church, but never taking time to relax.
Hmm.
So after my heart attack and triple bypass surgery, I had to do a lot of meditation to try to heal and get over all the complications I have. But being in ministry, most of my meditation was just ministering on Bible scriptures, but not going through the things that you just showed. And so going through that, closing my eyes and just imagining that, it just felt very relaxing, very empowering, and helping me to focus on something else besides the things that's going on around me. I have my 4-year-old grandson right here, so he loves to be on camera. Stop right now, okay? But for
Dude,
me,
hold on real quick. This is something for you. Um, so I want you to do something with him really
What
fast.
about my tablet? I.
Hey, what's your
What
name?
about my tablet?
What's his name?
Peanut,
Peanut.
Huh?
So he said, huh? He's like, yeah, that's my name.
What you said?
I want you to look at him and I want you
Got
to
my
tell him
tablet.
how much you love him.
Yeah, my
How
tablet.
much-
definitely do that. I love you very much. I tell
No,
him
no, no.
all the
It's a structure.
love
You
it.
have to
Look
actually
at
have him look at you.
come
Like
here.
he has to be if you have to
Listen,
put him
let me
back
get
down,
that.
that's fine. If you
Hey,
have to put
come
him
here.
back down, but have him
I
look
want
at
you
you.
to listen to it. Okay.
Okay.
He told me to look at you and tell you that I love you. Look at me. Look at me. I love you. You're
Two.
my big boy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
That's right. How does
Yeah.
that make you feel in that moment? Speaking to him.
Very good because I'm constantly giving him positive affirmation, telling him how much I love him, how smart he is, how handsome he is, how helpful he is, and just keep speaking life and blessings over him every day, all day. First thing in the morning, throughout the day, at night before he goes to sleep. So those that I'm accustomed to. I have 12 grandkids. The 1 year old is the youngest, well, the 1 year old is my great grandson, but this is the one that I spend the most time with right here. So everything that I'm doing is to not only take care of my family and myself, so I don't have to work anymore due to health challenges, but also to have a future for him so that my ceiling will be his floor and all my future generations, I can leave legacy like you guys are doing. Um, I love being on these calls. I think I told you before that I'm just amazed by you all and how much you care and how much you pour into us. My generation, I'm 55. We would just talk to go to school, get good jobs, and do that for the rest of our lives. But now I'm focusing more on entrepreneur and doing things to build legacy and not to get stuck in that 40 broken system. Okay.
Hmm.
Back to what you originally asked me, I love the meditation because it took me somewhere different than I'm normally do. Because my meditation always is around Bible scriptures, but not just imagining other things. And it was just relaxing, and I felt like I was floating there, just imagining the words you were saying.
Wow. And how impactful could this be for you moving forward, even within your ministry?
Very impactful. My goal is to have global ministry traveling the world, helping people, connecting them to resources and people like you and like Mogul Ramel and others. That if it's not just about preaching, I've done that for over 20 years, but it's been a marketplace pastor, connecting people with resources, helping them schools, orphanages, just building things and connecting them to help them build their own business or get additional streams of income. But I look at myself with the screen you had, I always say I'm like a master connector, connecting people and resources. So that's one of the things that I'm good at besides speaking, but serving. My whole life is servanthood. 10 years in the Marine Corps, 20 plus years in law enforcement, 30 years in ministry. That's how I was raised. So I want to give back with the time that I have left in life.
Okay, so I love that. What I would love for you to do, Peanut, what I would love for you to do is this. I would love for you to build your business around connecting people. Because you
Okay.
see how easy it is for you to say, that's what I do. I'm the connector. That's my most attractive character. But yet you're not operating as that. You're operating as a speaker. When your most attractive character, you have a character trait of speaking, but I self-identified with the connector.
Yes.
No one told you to do that. That's you. You did that. When you can identify with that, that's where it's at because you know it.
Go ahead.
That's me. So, all right, cool. That's what I would love for you to do. I want you to start figuring out how can you connect these industries. Like, what do you want to connect? I know you are still a connector because you're connecting people to God. So don't think that you're not being a connector. You're still doing it, but make sure you make your business around connecting. Cool?
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. Good job. Good job. And thank you for pouring love into your grandson. He needs that. He loves that. He doesn't even know that he needs it, but he knows that he loves it. So that's for sure. Continue to do that. Everyone send some love in the chat if you haven't already. Miss Tonda, you have your hand raised. You know, I think you're driving. Can you put your
No,
camera?
I'm in the house now. I'm in the house about to get back in the car, but
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say that what I just experienced with this meditation, and I've participated, I think, in one, maybe two other meditations with you, has increased my level of meditation. I've been doing meditation for a while now, but doing these with you has given me a desire to want to do meditation even more. I do the stepping back, breathing throughout the day, especially when the stresses are coming on. I just kind of push my chair back away from my desk, do some breathing. But the one thing that stood out to me was when you stated for us to walk into the area of people and to look at the faces of the people and see what their expressions are. And I may be saying this different from how you said it, but this is how I heard it. To look at the facial expressions of the people as I'm coming into their presence. What are their expressions? What are their thoughts? And I can resonate with that because I have experienced where people have shared with me when you're around, there's just a good energy. When you come into the room, I feel a positive energy. And that's extremely important to me. However, I want to be more of that. I want to do more of that. And also, I like what Anthony said about being more focused on the one thing because I had just left a prayer session at church and doing prayer, the word focus kept coming up. And sometimes it's kind of hard to focus when you're doing multiple things. And I'm gonna be real. Can I be transparent?
Yes,
Can I be
please.
transparent? Being a part of the uh, Mailbox Millionaire Academy, you got to keep your focus because you gentlemen are pouring so much into us. And it's like, do I still want to be a real estate investor? Do I want to do credit repair? Do I want to teach meditation? It's like, oh my gosh, what do I want to do? But I'm grateful that we can come back to these settings with you and you can help us to calm our mind because being a wife, mother, grandmother, employee, business owner, my mind is always on the go. And I've had to teach myself how to relax, how to let my mind just be clear and try not to think of things. So I appreciate the white space because a lot of people don't understand the white space, but I understand the white space. I appreciate that. And also with what Alan said, we've had to go through life situations that's caused us to have to slow down and let our minds slow down, but find those things, even, and I'm like Alan, I'm a strong believer. I'm in my word, I pray, but even with that, we have to let our minds digress. So these type of settings really helps me. This is increasing me. So the next time I do my own meditation, I can go deeper in and I can visualize some of those same things that you were sharing. I'm going to create mine. Now, I go to the beach a lot in my meditations, but walking through my own city, oh my God, that's my takeaway. I appreciate you. Dr.
Absolutely.
Crew, Dr.
Absolutely.
Crew, I appreciate you.
Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Everyone send some
Welcome.
love in the chat to
Love
Miss
you
Tanda.
guys.
We love you 100%. And, that's amazing for Tanda to be able to. She was on the road. She said, hey, let's get, I'm going to take a minute to stop, get in the house real quick. Let me get on camera really fast before I go and continue what I'm doing. And that is the power of connectivity. That is the power of community because sometimes we may not think that we may need a certain thing. but the community brings it out of you, right? Like she probably wasn't even thinking, I'm probably not getting on the calls today. I'm doing whatever I got to do. But then she hears the mindset reset is coming on. Oh, let me go get to that. And then now this is transforming her next level of business when it comes to the guided meditations. First, it transforms her life. And that's what I want all of us to realize. There's certain things in your life that has transformed you already that you can utilize to help yourself even more. And then once you get the results, you can help someone else. So coming up, we're going to go through the mindset of the core of confidence. So how many people are familiar with confidence? The word confidence itself. I've done this study. When I've done this study, I was amazed because let me just ask you, who might be out of any group of people? I would think that most people would say that melanated people have the most confidence. That's just what I would think. Who agrees with that? You could disagree or agree with it, but that's what I would think. When I did research into this, that is one of the things that plague us the most is confidence. When you look at the history, you see most of us have been beaten down. The confidence has been beaten out of us. It's to the point where we're really only confident with family and friends. We're not really confident outside of that. So this gave me the illusion that we were, but when I did the study, I said, wow, confidence is something we need to focus on. Who here agrees that confidence is something that we need to focus on? Do you lack confidence in a certain area? Let me know if you do. If you do or you don't. If you do lack confidence in a certain area, put a 0 in the chat. If you don't lack confidence in a certain area, put a 1 in the chat. I want to turn to becoming more effective in less time. Shout out to Anthony. I know he just sent me all of his notes from becoming more effective in less time. He read the entire book again, took all the notes. But let's go into that. I would say chapter 4. Let's go into the confidence. Let's go into confidence. Let's bring up the slides. So when we're looking right here on the screen, you can see it says confidence, the power of believing in yourself. A key factor, and probably the one you need the most in having a powerful mindset, is confidence. Confidence is the quality or state of being certain. So this is where I agree. Who put that in the chat? Somebody had put disagree in the chat. Lainey, right? Lainey? So, all right, cool. This is where I agree with that. Because most of us don't have a state of being certain. In fact, most of us are super uncertain. We go through life with such uncertainty that it causes us to not move as fast or as effective as we truly want to be. So as we continue to read, it says a state of trust in yourself and others. Trusting yourself doesn't come easy for most people, but if practiced daily, it can be developed just like mindset. So what are we saying here? Well, when you look at it fundamentally, most people do not have confidence because of the lack of trust within self. So now, how did I say earlier that this has been beaten out of us? Well, in school, no disrespect to the school system, but you have to be aware of what it is, right? In order to get to where we want to be, we must know where we're at. That's the way that this works. So confident people, this is a list of things, right? Confident people act in certain ways. If you want to build your confidence, these are the things that you must start to do. These are the things that you must start to do. Admit when you're wrong. Refrain from critical judgment. When you're discussing personal success, right? Put that down in the chat. Put that down, or put that in your notes. Put that down in your notes. Now, a lot of times critical judgment comes up in a certain way. And at the next bullet point, take criticism, but remain certain of your worth. right? Following that, this is something that's so pristine. Accept a compliment without limiting judgment, without limiting language. How many of us get compliments? And this happened to me sometimes too. You have to reel it in. It's just a practice. Sometimes, you might put on a pair of clothing that you go outside with it, and you just threw it together, but somebody else may like it. And we don't feel as confident in it. It's whatever. It's just going out outside to grab something from the store. And they go, "Oh, I love this outfit." And then you go, well, yeah, not really. I got this. It's not really great. I could have done this. I could have. How many of you recognize that? You do that? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you do that. So you want to take these compliments without limiting language. Yes, thank you. I appreciate you. And automatically find something that they have that you like, that you can compliment them on. Right? So you want to have this attitude of gratitude. Everywhere you go, people are working for you and with you. It's just you are the star of your story. It just is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it is. So you want to spread that love. You want to operate with joy. The most important part is being honest. Because if you can't be honest, you can't hone your abilities. So when you look at honestly, when you look at the word honest, the root word in there is hone. What are you honing on? Hone on the fact that you are already amazing. Take a compliment. So what's one compliment that you can't take, that when people give it to you, you kind of just shy away from the compliment? Let me know in the chat if you can identify that. If you can't, no worries, but let me know in the chat. So one of the ways I want you to start to realize that everyone is working for you and with you is to believe that you are the casting director. You are the producer. You are the star of your own movie, your own story. You're the MVP. When you operate like this, it's not to be selfish. It's not to be self-centered. It's to realize that your blessings are always going to come from other people. If you don't realize that your blessings are going to come from other people, you're going to shy away from other people. Okay, maybe that went over some people's head. Let's make sure that this is said again so that we clearly understand this. Believe you are the star of your story. Believe you are the star of your movie. Believe you are the producer. Believe you are the casting director. Believe it, because if you don't, you're going to be the background extra in your own. When you believe it and you understand that you are the star, when people come up to you and say stuff to you, all it's doing is helping you grow. It's not making you be self-centered. We don't want you to think that that's making you be self-centered, because all of your power, all of your potential is going to be actualized with other people. All of your success is going to be had with other people, with the help of other people. So confidence is a skill. Just like any other skill, it can be improved upon, nurtured through your habits. A confident person will speak with conviction, but also actively listen to others. So yes, you may have a certain level of life and a certain level of experience, but the voice of other people matter in your life. God designed it this way. So that way we work together. So even down to your child. I know a lot of times I'm the child. You're the child. I'm the parent, right? That's how they would say to the child. And sometimes you need to listen to your child. Okay, I get it. Not everything they say to you is going to be the best thing to listen to, but you need to be open. So that means actively listening to others. As we continue to read, it says, those people who are confident aren't afraid to ask for advice or help, and will take advantage of opportunities just as much as they will take responsibility for their own actions. So sometimes we get this bad rep of being an opportunist, right? Whoever got that, whoever said somebody's an opportunist, and you meant it as a negative. You meant it as a negative connotation to whatever that person's personality trait, but actually that was a compliment. You probably didn't know it, or they called you that. Okay. By default, you are an opportunist, but you shouldn't be afraid to ask for help. If you are afraid to ask for help, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat, just so we know. Put a 1 in the chat. This is really for you, because this is how we are allowing you to ask for help now. So put a 1 in the chat if you're sometimes afraid to ask for help. So for those individuals who have the confidence, they will step outside of their comfort zone. They won't shy away from conflict, and they won't procrastinate, because procrastination only pushes your anxiety further It only delays your gifts. It only stops you from getting to where you want to be. And ultimately, procrastination does this. It stops you from allowing yourself to enjoy your abundance as much or as long as you can. To put that into the most common term or common understanding is the longer you delay something, the more you delay the enjoyment that the more you delay the time that you get to enjoy it. So if you know that you're an amazing person, if you know that you have the capabilities of legacy, financial prosperity, but instead of going after it, you're making excuses or you're feeling like you don't believe in yourself or you're procrastinating. Let's just say you have 90 days to get this thing done and you get it done in 80 days. Now you only have 10 days to enjoy what you've created. But if you have 90 days to get this thing done and you got it done in 30 days, you got 60 days to enjoy whatever you've created. So to put this in an even more compact version of all of this, let's take it back to school. Y'all remember when we used to get the papers and we have the due dates for the papers and it's like 2, 3 weeks out? But the first 2 weeks, we kind of procrastinate and just do a bunch of other stuff. And then the last week that we know it, that same week when it's due, we start doing what? We start doing what with the paper now? Starts with a C. Cramming, right?
Cramming.
There we go. We start cramming everything. And this is not, think about it. This is not one of us. This is almost all of us. We start cramming. But I want you to look at something that goes hidden and goes unnoticed. Yes, most of us still, our back was against the wall and we still got the job done, right? We still was able to get the paper done. But you had anxiety. You stayed up all night. You messed up your sleep cycle. A whole bunch of stuff happened. But the thing that we fail to look at, what we neglect, is what was happening before that. So yes, we have, taken the time to do whatever else that we wanted to do that wasn't including the paper. And inside of those moments, we weren't truly enjoying life because on the back of our minds, what were we thinking about the whole time? So when we said, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends tonight because the party is tonight, and I still got 2 weeks to get it done, but I'm gonna go hang out with the friends. So you go hang out with your friends, but in the back of your mind, you don't have as much fun as you want to have because you're thinking about the paper. Same thing today when you go on vacation and you got a bunch of work. You can't truly enjoy your vacation because you got these things on your mind. So we need to eliminate those things. One of the ways to eliminate that is to work on our confidence. Because if we are confident, we can get things done. So we go to the next segment. It says self-belief. At its foundation, confidence is about self-belief, a person's belief in their ability to complete tasks and achieve their goals. So if I know this now, that I believe in myself, would it be more advantageous to me to get things done right away so that way I can have freedom and clarity when I'm operating in my vacation time or my downtime? Or should I use my self-belief power as, I'm going to procrastinate because I know once my back is against the wall, I'll still get it done. But during that time, I'm going to panic. During that time, I'm going to feel like, oh, I might not have time to complete it. I'm going to rush things and I'm not going to give my best effort. Which side do you want to be on? So moving with speed, but moving with velocity is key here. If you believe you are capable of success, the thought of alone actually increases your chances to succeed. And the opposite holds true as well. If you don't believe you deserve it, or if you have the knowledge, or you don't believe you have the knowledge to get it, you won't get it. So often our self-belief is diminished by our interpretation of what's going on in our environment. This is why your environment needs to be clean. This is why your environment needs to be safe. You should have people around you who can give you space so that way you can get to where you want to be. So you must surround yourself with beautiful energy where you are supported, encouraged, and that way you can actualize your true higher self. So when we do the guided meditations, this is your environment. This is better than you going in a car playing your music. The music that gets you pumped up, but it's really heartbreak music. You know that music? That's what I'm talking about. Mainly I'm gonna target this to women as far as, well, I can go both ways because men usually listen to hip hop, and a lot of the hip hop is not hip hop anymore, it's rap, right? And some of you all may be in a different scenario, different case, but for the majority of people, they listen to that and then that programs their minds. So instead of being about togetherness and about peace and about creating together, a lot of men, their music is about self and about competition. Oh, I'm better than you. Oh, I got this. You don't. And now instead of looking at other men as your your compliments, you're looking at them as competition. And vice versa with women, right? Same thing, same. Cool. So what I want to do is I want to demonstrate on the whiteboard how you can actually get to your most attractive character faster than you've ever thought before. But once again, you must identify your most attractive character traits. So let's see, for those who didn't see this, let's put it back on the screen. When you're on your road to success, you're going to have a certain amount of attributes that you need to acquire to be successful at any role, any job. This is why you build a resume. When you build a resume, you turn a resume into your future employee. They look at it and see if you have the attributes in order to fit the role. Make sense? Tell me if it makes sense so far. Okay. So now in any arena, there's attributes that you need. There's 12 type of archetypes for humans, but there's 5 main most attractive character types. Now, first, as far as your attributes go, you need to have clarity of your vision, communication, be able to public speak, have presence when you walk into the room, organization, time management, integrity, decision making, relationships with people, influence, charisma, demeanor. These different strengths, when you combine them together, you might have different variations of these attributes. You may be great in clarity of vision, which you probably lack in public speaking. Your combination, your specific combination creates a specific type of character. You might be a visionary. You might be an operator. You might be the connector. You might be the entertainer. You might be the mentor. Like you might be one of those. And depending on where you're at, it would be more suited for you to be that version and build your business around that version. It will multiply your results versus being a person who's actually a visionary, but you're stuck being the operator. Like if you're the visionary, but you're stuck being the operator, but you don't communicate your vision and you don't public speak and get it in front of people and have that presence, no one can help you take on that role of being the operator and then create it. But if you're stuck at the 9 to 5 and you're a true visionary, but you have the operator role and that's not your true strengths, you're going to feel like you're not being utilized at your highest capacity and you're going to want to quit. This is why most people want to leave the 9 to 5. It's not because you work 40 hours a week. You would do that anyway because you need to spend your time doing something anyway. The problem is you are out of alignment. So we need to get in alignment. If that's clear, put clear in the chat. If that's clear, put clear in the chat. That's clear, put clear in the chat. Okay. So let's go to the whiteboard. Okay. First thing I want to do is I want us to go online and type in the 12 archetypes. So if you can, go online and type in the 12 archetypes on Google and see what you get. If you can't type, I have you covered. Okay? I'm going to do it on the whiteboard. Can everyone see? Okay, cool. So some of us are probably saying archetype. What is archetype anyway? Okay. Well, an archetype is an original pattern, a model, or a character that serves as a blueprint for similar things. In Jungian psychology, inherited universal symbol or theme presents in the collective unconsciousness, influencing characters, symbols, and situations and stories and dreams. Understand that the reason why they say you must dream is because your life is built around a story. A dream is a story. If that's clear, somebody put clear in the chat. So they may use words interchangeably, but sign symbols rule the world. You must understand your signs, must understand your symbols. But in order to understand which signs are for you and which symbols are for you, you must know your attractive character. You might not know your attractive character yet if you don't know your archetype. So these archetypes are always used, and you can find them in movies, you can find them in plots. Like, let me show you how you know. All of us know the hero archetype, right? When the hero is in a story, you're not looking to see the hero actually die. You're seeing how they survive, right? Like you want to see how they survive because at the end you do know that they're going to survive. If I'm right or wrong, let me know in the chat. Because I don't think you believe that they're going to die. So we understand one hero, we understand one archetype, and that's the hero archetype. And then we compare ourselves to like the hero archetype. But I want to bring this up a little bit and have us get a little clearer. So when you look at the different archetypes, it's going to break down into 4 main categories. In these 4 main categories in the middle, this is where it's coming through at. Spiritual, legacy, provide structure, pursuit of connection. So basically, this is how it looks. Some of you are going to explore spirituality. That's going to be your thing. You're going to explore spirituality. Some of you are going to want to leave a legacy. Some of you are going to want to pursue connection, find a love life, find a lover. Some of you are going to pursue structure. You're going to be the one that wants to create a domain or be a creator or a ruler or a controller of some sort. Identify which one is you. Identify which one is you. Are you the person that wants to explore spirituality? Are you the person that wants to explore spirituality? Put it in the chat. Are you looking for freedom? Are you looking for understanding? Are you looking for safety? All right, some of us go and they follow the religious text because they want safety. They want safety. Oh, I'm afraid if I go against what the word of God is saying, I'm not going to have safety in the afterlife. I'm not going to live. I'm going to be in hellfire. So a lot of people choose religion based upon that part. But we want to go deeper than this, okay? We want to go deeper than this. Put yours in the chat. Are you a caregiver? Do you want to go for service? Like, how about control? Do you care about control? Do you care about innovation? Do you care about power? Do you care about freedom? Do you care about liberation? Do you care about mastery? Do you care about intimacy, enjoyment, belonging? So just so we know, you're going to care about all of those in some form of fashion, but the combination of what you care about will build out who you truly are. This is something that is happening subconsciously to you. It's not even something that you know because they didn't teach it to you, but it's happening to you subconsciously. So what I would love to do is I would love to go to the whiteboard and break some of this down to make it even more bite-sized for you. One of the fundamental issues that we have, we don't plan. We don't plan enough. Let me know in the chat if you plan enough, because that's really the number one issue for most of us is we don't plan enough. How many of you actually created your roadmap? How many of you sat down, you put where you're at right now, and then you put where you want to be, and then all the steps in between to how to get there? The truth is, most of us didn't do that. And that's why we are not where we want to be, because we haven't structured it out. It doesn't make us wrong. It's just that we are not taught to plan. It's not part of it. We're not taught to have the roadmap. You have to create your roadmap. Everyone right now, write down where you're at right now in your journey. And then write down where you want to be. What's the ultimate goal? When you get home, or if you could do it now, do it now. But I don't know where everyone is at. I know it's Saturday, so I just want to be respectful where you're at. So that's why I'm telling you it this way. I'm saying the least you can do is write down where you're at right now, and then write down where you want to be. So everyone, I need you to put that into the chat right now. Where you are right now and where you want to be. Even writing that may seem complicated to you all, right? That's why we're here. See, the issue is we understand that we need a roadmap to be successful. Most of us understand GPS, right? We don't drive without using the GPS. There's 2 types of GPSs. There's the GPS that you create, that you plan, and it's the inherent GPS. The inherent GPS is God's positioning system. So God has given you opportunities. God is helping you get to where you want to be, but you might see it as something else. Here's what I mean. Let's bring it together to understand it. You might be in a situation in your time in life where finances are hard, where you just are not making ends meet the way you want it to meet. Or you may be moving from job to job, or you may move from house to house, and then you're just not finding that stability. God can never directly come and talk to you and tell you that you need to do X, Y, and Z. So God will position you for you to develop that character trait to be the person that gets what you said you wanted. Before we move forward, let me know if that makes sense. You have to let me know if that makes sense. I cannot move forward because nothing else will make sense to you if this doesn't work for you right now. Does that make sense? Anthony, you have your hand raised. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm positioned in this group, so I am seeing now certain challenges that would hinder me. Now use them as fuel, as guidance. So I'm gonna set one example is, I moved from
Wait,
job
hold
to
on,
job.
hold on. Hold on. Hold that thought for till we come back to it, because I don't want to get everyone off. So hold that thought. We're gonna come back to that. And like once we wrap up, and then I want you to share that same testimony. Okay. For right now, whatever you want, put it in the chat. Okay, so other people can pick that up. So everything you was getting ready to say, if you want, put it in the chat. But I just want to guide everyone through this. Okay, cool. So we're clear on that, right? So that's make sure we're clear on it. God is giving you this opportunity. God is telling you because you already prayed for this. So the only way God can answer you is by having it show up in your story. So either you are the one that creates the GPS, or you have to be open to receiving what God is telling you in your story. So technically, you don't need to plan. You don't need to. You can live life without it. Most of us have already done that, and you've been successful without it. No doubt about it. The issue is you may not be as happy with the results you got. That's the issue. How many of us are not as happy with the results we've gotten? Like so far in your life, you maybe have gratitude, you may be thankful, but you're not as happy as you would like to be with the results you've gotten. Put a 1 in the chat. I'll say that's me in the chat. Just let us know. This is very important to your breakthrough. If you cannot identify this, you would never know where to go, because remember, GPS only works if GPS knows your starting point.
That's
It
me.
only works. It cannot work any other way. Okay, so this is why I'm putting an emphasis on this, because this right here could be the thing that allows you to break free, like it did for me. So your GPS, God's positioning system, is going to happen in one or two ways. Either God is going to give you a scenario that you have to figure out the scenario like a Rubik's Cube or like some riddle, or you can do what we call and create your story. Okay. So the GPS to success is your mindset. The way that God gives you your mindset is through your story. How many of you have the mind that you have because of the things that you've experienced? If any of you tell me I don't have the mind that I have I have the mind I have because of things I didn't experience, it wouldn't even make sense. The only way you have the mind that you have is because of what you experienced. This is why when you try to argue with other people, it doesn't make sense, because you're arguing with them to act like as if they had your experience in life. Uh-oh, I guess I'm talking to somebody. Somebody had an argument this week and they thought they was right. I know y'all thought y'all was right the whole time, but it was a story that you created in your own mind. And being that their story didn't match your story, you think that they're wrong. That's what a story is. A thought, a collection of thoughts that you have that you play into the world, and you see the results of other people playing back to you. So for example, when you go out and you make your marketing material just needs to be a story. But instead you sit there talk all about yourself. Hey, I help people do XYZ. Nobody cares about who you help. Nobody cares about what you do. How can I do what I want to do, whatever you said that I can do, whatever you got? Okay, well, how does that even make sense? With Netflix, right? Netflix is not coming out telling you all about Netflix and telling you all about, it's telling you what you could do with Netflix. It's telling you about what you could do with Netflix. Watch all of your favorite TV shows and movies in one location on demand for one low rate per month. That's a story, ladies and gentlemen. That was just great storytelling, straight to the point. You have to tell your story straight to the point. Your story will give you your glory. Your story is coming from your planning. So, yes, God has positioned you in your story. You now have, in order for you to be happy about what is happening, you have to make the plans. Because the only reason why we get upset for anything is because it didn't go according to our plan. We don't like what's going on. Anytime we're mad, is because we don't like what is happening. Clear or not clear? Let me know. Anytime we're mad, we don't like what's, it's really only because we don't like what's going on. That's it. Nothing else to it. We just don't like it. All right. So what we need to do is plan. But being that things don't go according to plan, we need to have a vision. Okay. We need to have a vision. That's why your plan is so important, because your plan puts the vision in perspective. So I need to see, I haven't seen anybody's writing down where you are right now. So an example of where you are right now would be, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, business coach that does systems, websites, funnels, right? That's what I do. Where do I want to be? I want to be on a global stage doing retreats where we can have real transformations in real time. Owning properties and owning our own island. That's where I want to be. But now I need to figure out the story. I need to figure out the GPS, where I'm at right now, the story of where I'm going with this, and a plan to how to get to my vision. You see how all this is starting to naturally unfold? It's giving you the blueprint as we go through it. It's telling you you need to create your roadmap. That's number one. Your roadmap will be the GPS that's in your story that's telling you the plan that helps you get to your vision. But we don't have that. Put a 1 in the chat if you have it. Put a 0 in the chat if you don't. This is just going to make this super clear for you. Put a 1 in the chat if you have it. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. Be honest though. Don't tell me because you want me to answer it. This is not for me. This is for you.
0.
Okay. So if we don't have it, now you need to have it. Write down where you're at. Write down your story of how you're going to get to where you want to be. Literally, it's just a story. The whole entire thing is a story. A story has a storyboard. What I'm showing you right now is a storyboard. Where you're starting is a GPS. The story is the things that's happening to you. Your plan is what is going to happen. Your vision is the ultimate goal of where you're headed. All of this rolls into one thing, and the one thing you have to think about is your roadmap. How are you doing A, B, C, D that allows you to get to Z? How are you doing 1, 2, 3 that allows you to get to 5, allows you to get to 10? Roadmap. You need to have a roadmap. Next thing you need to do is have the understanding of who you are, your archetype. So have you ever heard someone say to you, know thyself? This is what they're talking about. You have to know which archetype you are, because it doesn't matter. You could work any job because you're a human. You have the ability, because you have all of the archetypes already within you, but your particular attributes, which means your abilities, your gifts, make up your specific archetype. So there are multiple people just like you, but there's more people who are not like you. You understand? That's the understanding of it. So most of us, we start to realize that. We go, more people are not like me. We become introverted. We stay to ourselves. We don't really build. We look at our family as we're the black sheep of the family, and we're the outcasts, and they do the same thing to us. You're the outcast of the family, whatever the case may be. All it really means that we don't know each other as family members. That's all it really means. And be honest, so that way we can understand. How well does your family know you? If they know you very well, put a 1 in the chat. If they don't know you very well, put a 0 in the chat. I can almost bet that most of you will put 0 in the chat. I can literally bet that. Before you all put it, I can literally bet that. Put it in the chat. Does your family know you super well? Put a 1 in the chat. Your family don't know you that well? Put a 0 in the chat. I'm not talking about your immediate husband, wife, even that, even you, honestly, even that. You can put that in there too. Even that. Put it in the chat. So you must know thyself. If you don't know yourself, but you put a 1 in the chat, there's a inaccuracy there. And this is what causes being out of alignment. This is what causes struggle. Because there's no wrong, right or wrong. You know, I don't know your family members. I don't know anything. I'm not, you know, not going against. I'm just giving you the baseline of what you could possibly look at to help you. That's it. So don't think I'm making you feel wrong or anything like that. But you need to know your archetype. If you don't understand your archetype, you don't know your true abilities. If you don't know your true abilities, you don't understand your gifts. Right now, somebody right now, who's getting paid for their gifts? Put it in the chat. Who's paying you for your gifts? Who's paying you for your gifts? Or are you just doing a job? Because remember, you're a human. You can do anything. You're supernatural. You can literally do anything. You can make devices to make you fly. You can do anything. Although humans didn't make planes, I know they're gonna tell you that, but you know, you need to understand your archetypes, and you'll see. Okay, so your gifts will give you your gold. Your story will give you your glory. But most of you haven't planned out your story yet. You only look at the story from the past and not the story for the future. So where's your vision? Your vision is in the past. This is why you may repeat the same things over and over in your life. Okay. So in order to break this, we must create the story from beginning to end. You need to do that. You must look at who you are as far as your archetypes are. What are you? Who are you? Your abilities, and then you will locate your gifts. Once you locate your gifts, people pay you for it undeniably. It can't not pay you for it. God has set it up this way. That way you work for other people. When you are serving other people, you please God. God cares about us being together. If God didn't do that, then why would God not just make us all able to just populate without having a family? Like if God cared about us just individually without having family, then why don't we have the capability just to be like asexual and just have a baby right away? Or just pop up on earth? Because it doesn't work that way. You have to build family. You have to build connection, togetherness. That's what this is about. You have to be connected. Somehow, some way, you must be connected. So when you realize that you have certain gifts, your gifts give you gold. I'm not going to pay you if you don't have a vision. If you have a vision, I'll pay you because then now I see something. I see a light. I see gold. I see something. Same thing with a significant other. If you don't tell your girlfriend your vision, you don't tell your boyfriend or your significant other your partner. I hate saying a girlfriend and boyfriend. That's so like childish. If you don't tell the person that you are building a relationship with your vision, chances are they may not see the light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel is the same thing as the rainbow is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Those are the same thoughts. If you look at the rainbow looks like a tunnel. The light looks like the shine of a gold. It's the same stuff. It's just told in different stories because people relate differently to different things. So the thing that you need to relate to now is your level of value. You may be able to make pizzas, but can you build a company that makes pizzas? You might not be the same person. You may be perfect at making pizzas, but you may not be the person that can build the company to make pizzas. So you have to understand your value. So you might be the person, you might be the best, best, I don't know the name of it, but the person that makes the pizzas at Domino's. And you get all these sort of tips and everyone's tipping you and you have great customer service. When they come in and you're having fun, you're flipping up the pizza, you're making them laugh and all the other stuff. It gets to your head and you realize that, I have a gift at making pizza. So then you take the gift and then you go open up your own pizza shop and your pizza shop fails because you didn't realize the level of where your gift was on this value chart. So in other words, if you understand your level of value, which is your skill sets, it would either create the life that you want, or it will offset the life that you want. So not everybody is cut out to be a business owner. Not everybody is cut out to be a entrepreneur. You have to decide. Some of you are really good at being great employees, and there's really good roles for great employees, high level executive levels where you can make six figures. You can have the company car. You can go on company vacations. You can create your time and freedom. There are positions like that for you. You don't have to be the one to build the business. You can be a CEO without building your own business. You can build other people's businesses. You can do exactly what I do. I come in and help other people build businesses. But you don't see my face all on Instagram. You don't see my face all on YouTube. You don't see it. But how am I making all of this money? How am I making six figures, making $1 million? How am I doing this? Well, I'm telling you that if you match your level, match your skill set with the level of value that you want to provide with your archetype, it's undeniable. People will pay you. I'm sorry, it just will. And this will be the skill set that gives you the cash flow and asset that we usually talk about. Okay. So whether you might be a person who is introverted, maybe that's you, maybe that's not you, maybe that's just something you took on. But regardless, if you use your gifts at the wrong level, it's either going to help you with your skill set or it's going to give you an offset. And I'm not talking about the rapper. Last thing is the community. This thing ties all of this in together because your community can help you build that level of value. It can help you build that roadmap. It can help you build that archetype all together. Make sense? So you need to have a community to bring this all together. If you have a, think about it. If you have a gift, if you have a vision, but no one is in your vision, no one is seeing your gift, no one is benefiting from your gift, you're not putting your gift at the highest level possible, then it doesn't even matter. You go to the grave with all of your thoughts. And someone said this, I remember Les Brown also said this, and a few other people said this. I think even Steve Harvey said it, a lot of people said it, but Jim Rome, he also said it. Most of the greatest ideas and inventions are in the graveyard because people were too scared, too passive, or they just let time run out to let their dreams and gifts be seen by the world. Don't let that be you, ladies and gentlemen. So you need a community, whether you build your own or whether you're part of a community like this, you need a community because the way to get to your next level is with people. It will never change. All of the money that you want is in other people's possession. It will never change. All of the potential that you are going to actualize is going to come from with the help of other people who made that car for you to get around, who made those clothes, who built that house. All of these different things that allow you to be you, it come from participation with other people. It's never going to change. The issue is you're doing it alone. You're not making your vision. You're not making your roadmap. You don't understand your archetype and you're not utilizing your levels of value. That's why I'm here to show you. And we're almost done with class today. Obviously on Saturday, we do get a deeper dive on this. So, don't feel like anything other than that. It's just for your benefit. If you have to go, please go. We don't want to hold you hostage. But what I don't want to do is underserve you. And when the classes are an hour long, we underserve you for what we have going on. So yeah, if you have another class because you're in a challenge or anything like that, yeah, go ahead to your class. Don't feel like, this will also be saved and put on YouTube as we come back to it. So there are 5 layers of manifestation. You've been utilizing this already, and you may not know it's there, but you've been utilizing it already. Now, if any one of these things, let's make my language clearer. If any one of these abilities, if any one of these 5 layers are missing, you ruin or you diminish the amount that you can manifest. Make sense? Okay, let's make it make sense for you. The first layer in the 5 layers of manifestation is your mindset. Meanwhile, I'm telling you already, you already do this naturally. This is not anything you don't do naturally. Your mindset. Your mindset gives you the identity of who you are. Your identity allows you to either create your speaking ability and your connecting ability. If you say I'm an extrovert, if you identify as an extrovert, your speaking ability will now be geared towards that, right? You will be going over there to use your speaking ability as an extrovert. However, if you are an introvert, Your speaking ability, now you would see it as I'm more laid back, I'm more quiet. Let me not go out and be that person that reaches out to everyone. Underlining, there's something called accountability. This is the biggest mover. And I'll break it down to you. So when you go out and you go for a job, what is the first thing you do? Somebody let me know. Let me get a temperature check to see if we're paying attention. When you're looking for a job, what was the first thing you did when you first started looking for the job? Somebody said apply. That's not the first thing you did, but that is a thing you did. What else? What else? You made up your mind, right? You set your mind to something. You said, let me look, right, Tonda? Let me look for roles in whatever blank, right? So you said, let me look for the job. I need a job. That was your mindset. I need a job. I need a job. That was your first thing you did. Let me look for a job. Let me look for a role. First thing. And then once you look for a role, right? Oh, I can be this, I can be that. You look for the job opportunity. So then you identify with all of the job opportunities. So now you might apply, right? So now you apply. You're not going to apply to a job that you don't identify with the role. So we already know that that's where your identity is. And whatever you applied for, you identified with that role. Once you apply, what usually happens if you're qualified for that role? What usually happens? So just very, very simple. Like, so I'm just showing you that we always use this, whether we know it or not. It's very simple. What happens once we apply for the job and we are a good fit for the role? We do an interview. So by the logic of the 5 layers of manifestation, what's the very next step inside of this? What ability do we use next at the interview? What ability do we use at the interview? Our speaking ability, right? So we start speaking to them about what? About what? About everything we identify in the mindset. So we speak to them in the language that would show to them that we are qualified for the role, right? It makes sense, right? So once we are speaking to them, they tell them that we're qualified for the role. Once we get the role and they hire us, what happens next? What ability we are looking at next? The connecting ability, right? Because now we're connected to all of these people who are at this job. So let's make it all make sense, okay? So when we first go out to get the job, we understand that we need a job. So we say we need work. We apply for work. We interview for work. We go to work. So now you're connecting at work, right? So now you're at work with people who do all of these different things in this work. So if you work in finance, you're now speaking about finance, your ability to do finances at the interview. Once you get the job and you get hired, now you're speaking about it throughout work, right? This has become the way that you connect to the people at work. And then you have your set of work. And then you have your actual work. You are held accountable to do this work. If you do this work halfly, you might get fired. That is your ability to manifest. So if you say, hey, this job gave you $100,000 and they gave you a set of skills, a set of work to do, and you halfly did the work, you might not get $100,000. You might get fired. If you did the work, they might even keep you, but you might not get the raise you want. You want the raise so that way you can get to 110. So you can get to 110K. But if you are halfly being accountable for the work that you're doing, you're halfly doing it, they're not going to promote you. You're going to stay at the same rate or they're going to fire you. Make sense? Let me know in the chat. Makes sense. Now, that was the harder way of showing you this. Here's the easier way of showing. That was the harder way. Just want to get that out the way. So if some of you got fired and you wonder why you got laid off, don't be confused now, okay? Because you knew what you was doing. You was doing half of what you was supposed to be accounted for. Or they just couldn't afford it and they had to lay you off. That's the other case that happens nowadays. But for the most part, the reason why you're in the layoff part and not in the mandatory keep part is because of your accountability. It's because of your layers of manifesting. When you're at work, you know, you're not speaking as highly, you're quiet, you're not really connecting. You just show up and do your work, you leave early and you come in on time. Like, hey, you're not a person that we want to keep around, that we will have to pay. Okay, so you kind of cut into your manifestation ability. But if you are doing all of these and then you get to your work, and your work, you are performing at the top of the top, you can now, you're being accountable, you can now get more money, right? Now, when you go for that raise, when your standard salary is at 100K, they like this because they can identify everything you're doing. You're top notch on the accountability charts. You're top notch when it comes to connecting with people. When they speak with you, you sound coherent. You are engaged. You're active. You have an identity. You know exactly what your role is. You have a great mindset. They say, you know what? We're going to give them a raise. And then that's how you get to 110K. Now that we got that, do we all make sense? I mean, do we all find that clear? I think that's like the clearest way, the most simplest way I can just demonstrate that we already use this in our minds naturally without even seeing this on the board. Once we got that down, we're good, right? We're clear. Cool. So that's called the 5 layers of manifestation. Anytime you have a fraction of this, you're gonna have a fraction of your of what you can manifest. If you can manifest 110, but when you come to work, you're not really speaking up and you're not really connecting with people, but you're very accountable. You do your work, and there's nothing to say about that. All right, cool. We still raise you a little bit, but we're not going to give you the 110 that you're asking for. We'll give you 105. Has anybody experienced that? Where you don't really speak much at work, you don't really connect to anybody at work, but you do the job. You do the job. You do it very well. They still give you a raise, but you didn't get the raise that you wanted, though. Okay. The way to get the raise that you want is to make sure you hit all of those buckets. Okay. You have to hit all of those buckets. Here's the MVP framework. Now, you are being the MVP of your life. You must identify your most attractive character. And then you need the accountability systems. And today we're going to go through the winning plays. Okay. So you know how we just went over the 5 layers of manifestation? The skill set that you need to look at what it is that you do as far as your most attractive character, and you need to match it to the 4 levels. So remember when we said your level of value? So you must identify your archetype, and then you must go to the level of value. So when you look at the roadmap, the archetype, the value, we must have our identity, our vision, our story, our GPS, which is the roadmap. The archetype, understanding who exactly we are, right? The gifts that we have, that we possess, this will give you your goal. The skill set that you have to understand where to add the value. So put your greatest skill set in the chat. Put your greatest skill set in the chat. Put your greatest skill set in the chat. Communication, connecting, operating. Okay, remember, so the 5 types of attractive characters: visionary, operator, connector, entertainer, mentor. So the visionary person, that's the person that has clarity in their communication. They're bold with the communication. They're inspiring when they talk. They have presence when they walk in the room, and they have strategic foresight. If you don't have all of those, now you have to see which ones do you need to get. So I'll put it in the chat. You know what? That would be great if I could put this in the chat. So everyone, take a moment, go to the chat, look at this inside the chat. Take a moment, look inside the chat. So now when it comes to the visionary, The visionary needs to have core traits of being bold with their communication, having clarity in their communication, being inspiring with their presence, and strategic foresight. So you need to have that. That's a must. I'm going to put this all in the chat for you all to be able to pick this up. And we're getting ready to close out in 10 minutes. All right, cool. So visionary, put that in the chat right now. Some of you need to understand exactly where we're at with this. Some of you say you're an operator. Now you need to know, you need to make sure you have systems. If you're an operator, you need to have structure. So you can't be the person that's late, be an operator at your most attractiveness. Like you know, if you really understand this, at your most attractiveness, you have to have these qualities in at the top-notch level. So for operators, I'm gonna put this in Chitty. For operators, you look at your systems, your structure. While I'm doing this, you know what? Let me make sure oh, I can't share my screen. All right, cool. I'll just keep putting it in the chat. So don't worry about the screen at the moment. Look at the chat. I'll put this all in the chat. You need to be focused more on your efficiency. If you are an operator, you need to be focused more on your efficiency. Are you getting things done fast? Sometimes it's taking us 2 years to get things that could be done in 2 weeks, 2 days. Remember how I was talking about some people, how it took them 3 years to get their LLC, and literally it only takes 3 days. Don't be that person. So if some of you say you are the connector, okay. So if you're the connector, your core traits would be integrity, trust, partnerships, collaboration. So when Alan said he's a connector, he's still doing this in the ministry, right? It has integrity. You have to have integrity in your ministry. People need to be able to trust what you're saying because you're the one leading the congregation with the word. Your partnerships matter. Who do you connect with? Who do you collaborate with? So as far as connectors outside of the ministry, you need to have integrity because you're connecting people together, right? You're bringing relationships, strategic partnerships. I need to know I can trust you. If Anthony comes to me and say, hey, I have this guy named Alan, he's really good. I need to be able to trust Anthony as a connector. His word needs to be his bond. So these are the top character traits that you need to have in order for people to truly know you, like you, trust you, but for you to be your most attractive character in that particular trait or that particular type. So there's also the entertainer. And then that entertainer is the entertainer is not just when we say I don't want you to think like a person of a standing on stage or like an actor like that. But the person that comes into the room and entertains people just by their natural charisma, humor, relatability, ability to captivate the audience. Those people, like regular everyday people, like everyday people who look beautiful, who come in with the charm, has a sense of funniness and humor, and they have the relatability, and they can just control the room. And maybe you have some of those qualities, but if you don't have all of them, you need to start working on all of them, all of those 5, so that way you can step into your highest level. And if you're a mentor, because some of you are mentors, even as I mentioned with Alan, right? Alan may be working in the ministry, but he's still seen as a mentor. What he wants to do is get clarity on which one of these stand out to him the most. Once he does that, everyone else will see him as that, and it becomes super easy for him to get more, I would say, opportunities. So if you're the mentor, you have to have teaching clarity. You have to be accountable. You can't tell your students or your mentees to do something that you are not doing or that you won't do, that you can't do. You also have to have empathy. People have things that happen in life, right? But you have to also be able to scale your leadership up. You have to have other people under you. Can't stay just as the mentor just by yourself. So if you look at all of what we put into the chat, copy this. Copy the one that matches you. The one that when you see it, you go, oh, that's me. When you see it, you go, oh, that's me. Those are the things, if you work on those, you will instantly become your most attractive character. The good thing about being your most attractive character is that you don't need to be all of the attractive character archetypes. You just need to be the one that you connect to the most and have all of those skill set as top-notch skill sets, meaning that you work on them daily. If that makes sense, somebody put makes sense in the chat. Okay. So, okay, cool. So let's go back to the whiteboard, and we have about 5 minutes left. So let's go back to the whiteboard and let's look at the value chart. So we know we want to get to the highest level of imagination, but we can never get there if we don't start at implementation. Which skill set should you be focusing on? All right, let me change that. If first identify where you are. So for example, the connector. If you're the connector, which skill set out of all of these skills should you be working on the most? If we choose one of the 5 archetypes of one of the 5 most attractive character types, if I chose connector as my archetype or my character, my most attractive character, which skill set do I need to focus on the most right now? Let's put the answer in the chat. And the skill set that we're referring to is implementation, unification, communication, imagination. Who said they wanted to be the connector? That's Alan. Alan, come over mute.
I gotta come up from you. Sorry. For me, I'm looking at all of them for one thing, but the communication more so, because even as a connector, I'm looking to unify people, but I have to be able to communicate effectively in order for me to unify people. That's why I will go with the communication part first. All of them are important because I know I need to implement, but I'm gonna plant my flag with saying communication first.
Okay. So you know that the skill is communication. So you need to be in communication classes. You need to be in communication classes. You're already doing communication. Now you need to see what you are doing is, okay, or does this work? I know this is work. I know I get this type of feedback from the people in the ministry, the congregation. Okay, what else can I add? So you have to now look for what you're not doing. And the way to do that is do communication classes. So lucky for you, you're inside the Mailbox Meeting Academy, you're gonna have that gifted to you, right? So when we do our communication starting on the in October, we're going to have you front and center, right? So that way you can make sure your communication is operate at the top notch. So that way you can unify people and you can implement for them to do the thing. So perfect. I love the fact that you're able to identify your number one priority. Your number one priority as a connector is to learn how to communicate effectively. Now, so when you learn how to communicate effectively, you have to now look at those characteristics, those attributes next to it, right? Integrity, trust, partnerships, collaboration. So integrity, trust. So when you communicate, how do you communicate your integrity? Can you tell me how you can communicate your integrity?
For us, it's typically doing what's right regardless of the situation or the circumstances. I've experienced that being in the military, law enforcement, and ministry. I have to be able to show people that when I say I'm gonna do it, that I'm going to do it. When they say things to me, that my integrity is gonna be without. It's not double-minded or unstable. That I'm gonna
Stop right there.
They
Stop
can
right there.
trust me.
Stop right there. So that's the part of communication I want you to work on. You see how you start to explain yourself over and over, but you already
Yes.
answered it. So
Yes.
that's the part of communication I want you to work on. So you see how you are a connector, but see how communication is the thing that you need to be working on right now. So
Yes.
that way you can unify people. So great job. So you answered it outright the very first time. If you're a connector and one of the traits that you have is integrity, the way that you're going to show and communicate to people that you have integrity is doing what you say. And the thing about it is doing what you say even if no one is watching.
Yes.
Somebody put that in the chat. Somebody put that in the chat. Do what I say I'm going to do, even if no one's watching. Put that in the chat. Great job. So we got time for one more. Does anybody want help with this? Right now, you get a chance, like, to get help with this before we shut this down. Is there anybody who wants to get help? If you identify, all I need you to do, just do what Alan did. Identify your most attractive character type, choose that. Now you need to identify what's the number one skill set on this board that you need to start working on. Once you realize that, you can look at the characteristic attributes and you can see, okay, where do I need to utilize these skills? So what Alan just did, he showed you all, he's a connector. That's what he's going for. He's going to be, that's his most attractive character. When people know him, they know him as a connector. When they know him, they don't know him as a speaker. Yes, he does speak. Yes, he does, but he's the connector. He's the go-to guy. He's the plug. He's the go-to guy. That's what they're looking at. And that's what he wants. In order for him to do that, the first thing he needs to do is have integrity. And nobody's going to collaborate with him without integrity. So he's saying, how must I communicate that? Everything he must do it as if no one is watching. And even if somebody's watching, it doesn't even matter because it shouldn't even matter if anybody is watching. So everything he's doing it because he's watching himself. Very clear? Cool. All right. So the next thing for you, Alan, is your trust. Now you need trust in self. That means when you start to unify people, the first person you need to unify is you. You need to trust you. How do you trust you? You take risks. Most of us don't want to take risks. The way that you learn to trust yourself, if you take risks, because when the risks pay off, you now realize, wow, I did that. So you can trust yourself even more now. Okay. So that's how you're going to be able to do that. Now, when you look at partnerships and collaboration, that's just going to come through from your work that you've already done, because now you're able to help people do things that you've already done. And then your partnership is just, I mean, your collaboration is just basically people who believe in you, that's seen your track record, seen your resume, and they know you, and they want to follow you, and they want to join what you have going on. And the rest is history, and it's easy now. Now, once you have all of that, you have partnerships, you have collaborations, people trust you. Basically, you get what we call the cosign. So now anywhere you go, people are co-signing Alan. No, that's Alan. You don't know Alan Smith? Alan Smith, that's him. He's the guy who does X, Y, and Z. Oh, that's him. Oh, I need to get with him. Let me go talk to him. So before people even know you, somebody's telling them about you. Before you even know them, they know you. And then now they're coming to you, and then now they take your word, and your word means so much value. Now you have to replay all of everything, all of your skill sets that you've acquired. When you talk to them, you have to have integrity. You have to have trust. You have to be able to create a partnership with them if it's in alignment, and you have to be able to give them room for collaboration. And then it's just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And then if you take it to the next level, you are the one that now teaches it to people, and you're the one that is at the top, imagination. And all you need to do is relay your imagination to someone else who wants to do what you do, which is what I'm doing to you. I've already done this. I already became the connector. Now I'm telling you exactly what you can do to become the connector. And then you connect other people, and this is how we build community. Okay. So inside of the community, there's always going to be people at different levels. And the different levels, they play different roles. You might have a mentor in your community. You might have a connector, entertainer, operator, visionary. But if you're the one that can bring everyone together, this is where you start making all of the dreams that you've ever had in your mind come true. Because you're now the star of your story. You're now the director. You're now the one moving all of the pieces. When they say it's chess, not checkers, this is what they're talking about. The person playing the checkers is the one that's moving all the pieces. You have to be the one that moves the pieces. If you don't want to be the one that moves the pieces, it's fine. You'll just be right here, getting told what to do. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. Or you'll be right here, getting told what to do. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. Or you'll be right here, getting told what to do. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with it. It's just up to you. Do you want to be that person? That's all it is. Most of us want to sit here, but we want to be told what to do. It doesn't work that way. You don't get told what to do up there. You dictate what to do. Okay, so that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. We will continue this next week, I believe. Was this helpful to you in any way? Let me know. Come off of mute really quick. Was this helpful to you?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Very much so.
very helpful.
Right. Any takeaway? Put your takeaway, video takeaway inside of the Telegram group. Put your video takeaway. If you haven't, oh yeah, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Send a screenshot when you do, because if you do, we'll send you over that free PDF of how to get paid to be you. Okay, it is extensive, but if
Hey,
you
drop the link.
for the YouTube channel,
Yes, sir.
if you do follow the steps inside of the booklet, it will help you out. Okay, it will help you out. Let me grab that link for you all.
You said send a screenshot of your subscription showing subscribe and send that where?
To transformation@loveplus.com. So if you got the email
Yeah,
to
I
get
got
to
it.
this class, go back to that email and it's at the very top and gives you the instructions. All you have to do is just take a screenshot of you subscribing. So basically you show that you subscribe to the channel. And then once you do that, we'll send you the free PDF. But remember, y'all, I'm telling you, this PDF is loaded. So only take it if you want to do it. Like don't, because I'm telling you, it is loaded. All right. It's a lot of moving parts in it, but it's going to help you.
Yes, I did that before I actually logged into the class, so I missed a little bit of it. So I'm going to catch the replay for the beginning of it. But thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, absolutely. Last thing I want to say is this. We do have our MVP program. Let me share my screen actually. Is everybody here already inside of our programs, or is someone not in mentorship right now with us? Let me know. If you're not in mentorship, just come off of mute. If you're not in mentorship with us right now.
I don't think I'm in the mentorship program. I'm not.
Which program are you in?
I just got the email. I mean, you emailed me, so I followed through to the email this morning.
Okay. All right. So let me see in the chat just so I can get a consensus. If you are with one of our programs, our Mailbox Millionaire Academy, Playmakers, Cashflow Collectors, our MVP program, our Transformation Leadership program, just put a 1 in the chat. If you're not, if any of those, just put a 0 in the chat, just so I'm very clear on where we're at with. Because I know one person that was, is it Anthony Bass? Is that you, or is that you just use Anthony's name? Because I'm just making sure I was clear. Or was that Silk? I don't know who that was.
I'm in Playmakers.
Okay, cool. Anthony is in Playmakers. All right, cool. So if you are in Playmakers, if you are in Cashflow, if you are in TLP, MVP, any of those, you will automatically have this. If you're not and you want to get a part of it, then you know that's why I'm asking who is not. We're going to go through systems. Everyone here has their systems, right? I know, Anthony, if you're in Playmakers, you have your system. Who doesn't have a system? Who doesn't have a system?
What do you mean when you say system? I'm in cash flow, but I probably have it and don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. It's
Okay.
Mhm.
Let me share my screen with you. So when we showed on the board, right? So with the 4 levels of value, in order for those systems to work, you have to manage people. You have to manage your customers. You have to manage your products. So when we say system, we're talking about a backend system that allows you to become more effective in less time. Now, whether that is a Go High Level, whether that is a Squarespace, whether that is Wix, it doesn't matter. It's your choice. But do you have one? That's really what we want to know. If you don't have one and you need one, let me know. We set you up. We can get you set up with one. You don't really need us to do anything for you. You can go on Wix.com, go to Wix Studios. Wix Studios can set you up with a template site. You don't really need our help at all. But if you need expert help, if you need someone who's done this already to guide you through it, then we can help you. If you want us to create a funnel for you where it's done for you, or a website where it's done for you, then that's when you can come to us. If not, I'm always going to be here for support, I don't mind answering questions, but if you need us to do actual work, it is a service fee that we have. Not too much, but it does cost. Now, one of the reasons why I say if you have a system or not is because you need a way to put all of your products, you need a way to put all of what you have into one space. And if people are paying you, how are you getting paid? If you don't have automation, how are you handling tasks when times get crowded or when people are coming to you? I don't know your level of business yet for everyone here, but that's why I was asking. So does anyone have a system like this? I know if you're in Playmakers, you pretty much already have this. So put a 1 in the chat if you have a system like this, put a 0 in the chat if you don't. If you're not already making money with your business, then I don't recommend you getting it. But if you are already making money, or if you're looking to collect money, like tomorrow, I'm looking to start, I'm ready to sell today. If you're ready to sell, then you get this. If you're not ready to sell, you don't get this. But if you're looking to prepare yourself to sell and you need the funnel, you need the websites, then you will have to get that all situated. Okay. And you don't have to worry about the back end, but it will come with it, but you still just need to have the sites. Make sense? So wherever you are, you let us know, you let me know. I'm the person that creates the systems. I've been doing this for a while now. I've been doing this since 2012. And I've been in business since 2008. So one of the things that we've learned from the systems that almost any system can work for you. So you can choose any system, but just make sure it has what you need. And that's why I'm showing you this. If you need marketing material, I like for it all to be in one place. So this is just me. You got the Google ads, you have the Facebook and Instagram ads here, you have the email marketing. So when I sent you all emails, I sent you an email through email blast like this. It has AI, it has components where it can help you. Like, let's say if you're new at this, you can look at the analytics. Analytics would tell you all information. Help me grow my site traffic. You click on it and then the site will pop up. You get Astro, which is the AI, and Astro will help you with your next task. So as we come to a conclusion on this, I need you all to write down your biggest win in play. So from everything that we've seen today, what is your biggest win in play? Is it writing down your roadmap? Is it identifying your most attractive character? Is it noticing where you are on the levels, where to put your value? Let us know. That's the winning play I want to hold you accountable for. If you take care of that today, it would give you a lot of clarity. What's that one thing? Put it down in the chat. Put it down in the chat. If you are looking like I know once somebody came off of mute, I can't remember the name who came off of mute. But if you're not inside the programs and you want to, we have a program for you. It's just a starter program. Like ideally, you want to be inside of our MVP program, which everyone who's in Cashflow Collector or Mailbox Man Academy in general, they get access to that. They all get access to it. If you're not in there, you have to pay for that, but it is only $500 for the entire month. That's a discounted rate. It's actually $9.99, but anyone who takes advantage when we do it the day of. So what we do is we like to do day of deals. If you haven't noticed, right? You've been on calls with us before. If you do the day of deals, you get the discount. If you do it afterwards, you don't get the discount. That's how that works. But I'm gonna stop sharing this. If you are interested, you can let me know. Once again, we don't want to sell you. It's not about sales pressure, but we don't want to leave you behind. So if you feel like you're behind, you're getting overwhelmed, remember, this is a free class. You could just come here every Saturday or every time that we have it and just get the free class. You can go on the site and you can get the free pass. But if you want the one-on-one, if you want that, that is what we can do for you. We can give you the one-on-one attention that most companies can't give you. Okay. All right. Any questions, any concerns anyone have before we go? Any clarity that we need? Are we all good? Okay. So if I don't see any hands up, we're good, right? All right. Good, good. Come off of mute, snap it up, clap it up. I'm going to play some music, leave out on a high note.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Clap
you.
it up for you. Let's go. You did that. Your next level is loading. It is Saturday. I want you to go out there and be amazing today. Go and show other people that you are that most attractive character. You are the MVP of your life. Don't procrastinate. The heavier you make your dreams come by, the longer you wait to take on those challenges. So let's go out there. Raise your vibration, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. The top of the top, the cream.
Once was stuck in the dark, then I got me a light. Came up from the dirt, took a couple tries. No matter what, always knew I was gonna be alright, be alright. Life is like a movie, I'm the star of my story. The streets and the sweets, great credit, big business, investments. I've been loading love, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now, now I'm now, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now. I've been loading love, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now, now I'm now, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now, yeah. Tell me who as real as this. Took a while to find my niche. Had to build up my business. That money I invested in. New crib, big backyard, and neighbors can't even see who we are. No, I'm not the same as I was before. No, I'm not the same as I was before. I feel like a movie, I'm the star of my story. The streets and the sweets, great credit, big business, investments. I've been loading up, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now, now I'm now, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now. I've been loading up, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now, now I'm now, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now.
Go out there and be amazing. You are the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop.